My name is Timothy D. Craigette, and I am extremely excited to present this to you. It's been a long time coming. For those that might have made it to the session of yesterday where it was a replacement, it didn't exactly go off without a hitch. But I am glad that you are here today because one, I'm only here for today, and two, you're actually going to get the whole presentation. So congratulations for making the time to come out here. Hopefully I can serve you well, and let's have some fun. So first off, welcome. I can guarantee you that there will not be another presentation like this. I went through all of the book and I didn't see anything that remotely looked like what I'm going to do. So please pay attention. We're going to cover a lot of information, but the good thing about this is I am recording it for you. So there's a camera back there that is recording the live stuff. I am also recording my screen, so anything that I do up here, you guys will be able to see on your own. And all you got to do is go to www.startgrowscale.com/big, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about internet marketing. Here's your first lesson. I'm taking you to an opt-in page. You're going to put in the email address, and I'm going to communicate to you for the rest of your life until you unsubscribe from my list. That's just how internet marketing works. With that being said, let's get started. www, I'll just show it to you again. Let's make life easy. www.startgrowscale.com/BIG, as in notorious or blacks in government. So, what are we going to cover? And first off, I have to say congratulations and thank you. I do appreciate all of you coming here. Yesterday morning, we did not have a packed house like this. You guys are remarkable and amazing, and I'm glad that you're here. But let's actually go into, bam, what we're going to do today. Start, Grow, Scale, Jumpstart. This is an abbreviated version of my 30-day immersion, which is totally free. So let's have some fun and rock it out. Number one, how to discover your thought leader's superpower in just a couple minutes a day. What I'm going to show you is how to simplify gathering information, which is going to make you a savant in whatever niche or industry you're trying to do. Number two, how to find your perfect audience without ever talking to a single person. How many of you in here are shy? Introverts. You don't like talking to anyone.
I don't like talking.
I don't like talking to anyone either, but I have to do it because I got to sell. So I learned how to do it without talking to anyone. Three, how to become an information juggernaut, even if you hate to read. I don't read. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. Four, how to make your product once and sell multiple times without a sales force or bribing your family too much. You will bribe your family. It's just how it goes. And number five, how to grow and scale by just doing nothing more than what you've already learned today. Now, one thing I do want to share with you about all of this, everyone can do it. It doesn't matter your skill set, doesn't matter how much you've been on the internet, everyone can do this. I can guarantee it. Now, what we will not cover, business law, business structure, accounting. The FTC has told me I have to do this, so I do it every time. Disclaimer, I am not a lawyer or financial professional. I don't play one on TV. Please seek the guidance of a professional in any and all advice and financial decisions. That's just how it is. So, let me quickly tell you a little bit about myself. Question? Oh, sure. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I used to be a Fed. Is that a pity clap? I used to be a Fed. This is me actually in an office that I was working in. For 6 to 7 years, I jumped around in the government. First as a contractor, and then eventually becoming a federal employee. Some of the agencies that I've been a part of: DEA, DOE, DOE, FDA. There might be another one, but I ended up in NIH. I jumped around in the government as a contractor trying to find a permanent position in IT. I ended up at the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland, and I did IT as a contractor. My entry into becoming a federal employee, administration. GS7. So at the time, the easiest way to get in is through admin. So I was told, hey, go through admin. And then from there, you can go up the ladder. Well, my thank you for that was in 2012. Since I made that jump into going admin after being in IT for the better part of my career, needless to say, it did not work too well. I left the government. I left what I thought was safe and secure, and I actually developed deep depression, anxiety disorder, PTSD, and bipolar 2 as a state of being in a position I was not supposed to be in for a really long time. Now, that picture is actually my cubicle a couple weeks before I went on medical leave. Now, during my last year, minus buying an Xbox on the day that it came out, I needed to find a way to use my skills to make income. My whole thing is, as an IT tech, which later became an IT trainer, I developed a lot of skills as far as communication, presentation, and media. I had to figure out how to use those skills, plus my creative skills from back in the day, in order to turn that into something where I never had to look at a cubicle ever again. I researched this thing on the internet called internet marketing. Some of you may have heard of it. We, in this realm, we call it IM. I went and I purchased a course from this dude by the name of Robert Stooks. And he actually became my very first mentor online. He lived in South Carolina. I was in Maryland. All of our interaction, complete internet. September 23rd, everything changed for me. I released my very first internet product called Bestseller Boss. I taught people how to go on LinkedIn and find high-level, high-achieving people without going through the system of doing all of the connections. Very simple information. Because of that, oh, too fast. You didn't see that. All right. All right. So because of that, I became a best-selling information product producer for the very first time out the gate. Not many people get that designation. I sold over 2,000 units at $17 and $37 respectively, which resulted in a little over $40,000 in sales in a weekend, first out the gate. And I became what we call internet famous, which sometimes is internet infamous, depending on what you're doing. But in doing that, I did nothing more than what I did for the government. I got information, I went and I did the information, I got a result, and then I just recorded myself telling people how I got the result. No different than what I'm doing today, right? Today, I am now a 6-time award-winning product producer with JV Zoo and Warrior Forum, over $338 million in sales since 2012. I'm a best-selling author. I am a podcast producer for some really elite, high-level people, including myself. I just finished up a podcast about comic books, if you guys like comic books. And I am also an online business coach, coaching adults and kids. This was actually 2 Sundays ago in Boston, Massachusetts. Well, what? So the cool thing about this picture that I really love is that these kids here are all from underprivileged areas. Boston, Mass, New York, Baltimore, and Philly. This nonprofit collects these kids out of their underprivileged areas, and for 3 weeks they give them hardcore SAT prep. Great stuff. They uproot them out of their areas, and then they take them somewhere that's totally different and foreign and give them the opportunity to see a different way of life that they normally would not see. Get this SAT prep, and on the very last day, they get an entrepreneur like me to come in and show them entrepreneurship. So there's a lot of people who've done some really great things. We all coach them for one day, and then they do a Shark Tank at the end of it, which is great to see high schoolers who know nothing about statistics all of a sudden outschool you in presentation in a matter of hours. It makes you look bad, but then, they're kids. What do they know? So my mission is about business, and today's mission is about helping all of you guys. I want to show you how this stuff works. When I was in the government and I had to find my way out, it was because of health. I'm not saying that you guys need to find a way out. Well, then we can talk. Side conversation. No, but what I want to show you actually translates into what you can do inside your cube, inside your office, or in a boardroom, hands down. Now, disclaimer, what I'm going to show you next is not typical, but it is actual and factual. These screenshots were taken on the 16th of August. These are actual PayPal screenshots from students. These is almost typical. But what my goal is today is to show you how this can be done literally this week. You could do this in 5 days. Is that interesting? Oh, wow, you went to my page. You're awesome. Give her a round of applause for being cool and stuff. That's dope. I like that. Now, also, don't mind me. I'm a hip hop kid. I wear hats and I wear chucks, but I am a pro. You can trust me on that. And this is some more screenshots that I'm going to show you. Well, my goal is to show you at least how to make $100 this week, but that $100 is just starting. You do what I tell you, it's actually a lot more and it's guaranteed, but I can't guarantee more than 100 because then FTC is going to be knocking on the door. And I don't like the FTC. So this is going to be an interactive exercise. We're actually going to do things. What I'm going to show you is actually a process. It's something I do with my $1,000 clients, my $10,000 clients, whatever the case may be. It's the same process. It's a little bit modified because what I'm doing is I'm actually showing you skills that you can do in your office space. But trust me, it translates across the board. So, are we ready? Yes. I love it. Let's do it. So the very first thing I want to do is teach you a little technique we call idea inventory. So please have an open mind. Be prepared to write. You can write notes, but most importantly, what I tell you to write is the things that I want you to take with you moving forward. All right? So, what do you want to solve? Now, Google has made it their business to solve problems. Can we pull that, please? Thank you. It's totally cool. Hopefully there's a seat. I don't know. Can someone raise their hand if they have an available seat? You guys are awesome. There you go. All right. Back to what we're talking about. Google. So, Google is the top search engine. If you haven't used it already, trust me, you're going to use it. It's the greatest thing that's been made ever. It's amazing. I feel like saying China for some reason. I don't know why. Just China. Whatever. All right. So the whole thing about Google is that they made the business of making a better search engine. They're in the business of solving problems each and every day. When I pull out my Android device and I say, let's see if it'll do it. Okay, Google. It doesn't like me today. If I say, okay, Google, it instantly connects to the internet and it's going to solve a problem for me. I'm going to tell it where I need to eat. And it's going to tell me where to go. And I'm going to go there and enjoy it, and then I'm going to review it on Google. That's just how Google works. But the cool thing about Google and them solving problems is that they're really good at collecting information. Here's an example. This is a screenshot from Google Street. This person here is my grandmother. I miss her so much. The reason why I threw this in this presentation is 2 reasons. One, in business, you got to have a purpose that's bigger and larger than you in order to go through all the crap. Mine is this woman right here. I made a promise to her that I would let the world know that she existed. Her name was Annetta Baird. and she was amazing. She immigrated from Trinidad and Tobago, and she is the reason why I do everything that I do outside of my family. Now, talking about Google. If I ever want to see her upright, all I have to do is put in her old street address, and I can see what Google captured in 2007. You'd be surprised how much information is out there that's captured if you Google your name. I will talk about that later. So, Google is in the business of being your number one source for information. In doing so, you have to be an expert just like a doctor. You have to be someone that knows their stuff. And I imagine that all of you in your positions, whether you're serving, publicly or you're serving in some high level, that you are an expert. Someone has to come to you in order to get something done. That's expertise. And the whole thing of doing that is you're solving a problem. If someone needs a report, you go and make the report, or you get the information for the report, you're solving the problem. If policy needs to be written, whatever the case may be, if PMAP needs to be done, you're solving the problem. That's what this is all about. Now, what do we want to solve? Online, that is. I want to give you a couple of examples of things that's solved in the past. iPhone made us have the ability to carry the internet in our pocket. Before the iPhone, there were solutions, but no one made it as elegant as Apple did. And the moment that they did that, they changed the game, and then I went and I got an Android. The second thing is the Model T car. The Model T car changed the world because we no longer have to rely on horses. Horses are happy, we're happy. So now we can travel across land at high speeds and get traffic tickets, or go see your grandmother or something, whatever the case may be. But transportation is now simple and easy to do. And credit cards. You no longer have to be a sheriff of Nottingham to carry a purse full of coin and go through the forest to pay somebody for your riches. You can use a credit card and get into debt. But in doing so, it solved the problem of us being able to spend money without the need of having to carry large bits of coin and, drag our feet and all that. And all of that, it comes down to one thing. One problem, one solution. I imagine that there's things that you've done where it's been a very simple problem and you created a very elegant, simple solution in order to solve it. I want you to start thinking about that as we move forward. So, moving forward, there's 4 aspects when it comes to this whole thing of solving problems. The first one is expertise. All of you in here are experts at something. I don't know what it is yet. You might not know, but you'll discover it. But in the whole thing of that is what you know, or what you can learn to be true. That's expertise. And I will tell you, as an internet marketer, expertise is subject, because anyone can call themselves an expert on the internet. I mean, I could say I'm an expert. I am. But, that's how the internet works. Second thing is audience. Your problem has to be something that can solve for somebody, whether it's one person, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people. You got to have an audience in order to solve your problems, to solve their problems in an elegant way. 3, the next thing is new technology. You have to embrace the way that we can do it, because not everything right now is old school. We can't just go and pick up the phone like we used to. Now you have Instant Messenger, you got Skype, you got Google Hangouts, you got all these ways of doing communication. And these are the ways of the future. It's not, the Jetsons. It's not so far off. We're here, we're actually doing it. So these are things that you got to embrace. And last but not least, action. You got to tell somebody what to do. That's pretty much it. These are the ingredients right here for being successful online. Now, how does this all translate in the office? If you know how to do your job, you serve your higher ups or serve the community, you get the information to them in a way that they can absorb it, because not everybody's going to read some pick a letter, pick a number document, and telling them how to actually do it, you've now become a savior to somebody doing your service. These are the arenas that mostly are successful on the internet. Whatever it is that you have in your mind does not necessarily have to fit in this, but these are the 4 things that definitely jumps out as being the top niches on the internet. The first one is health. If you can solve the problem of something that ails someone, you can make money on the internet. If you can solve GERD, if you could solve diarrhea, if you could solve a herniated disc, if you can solve poor eyesight, whatever the case may be, someone's going to pay you for it to get that problem solved. The more disgusting, the more you can charge. Well, if you can teach somebody how to make money, they will pay you for it, even if they don't make a red cent. It's just the truth. There's so many magazines and websites out there that are biz-op, that are, speak from the stage and you can make a killing or whatever the case may be. It might be pie in the sky, it might be actual, but the truth is you're buying the dream. If you can sell the dream, you can make money on the internet. 3, relationships. If you can solve a broken heart, you can make money on the internet. A young lady yesterday in the exercise that we're going to do coming up later on came up with a really great idea that dealt with family and having communication and helping to improve communication in the family, in the home. That right there, I could sell on the internet all day. Relationships. And the last is specialized information. Now, specialized information. Is there anyone in here that went through the whole problem of doing KSAs? We all went through that pain. So if you can come up with a solution that's creative about how to get past the KSAs, you can make money on the internet. On entrepreneur.com, this article by Tony Robbins details the 6 basic needs. If you can figure out any of these 6, you have the best chance of success, guaranteed. 1, humans need certainty, assurance you can avoid pain or gain pleasure. That is basically the internet, ladies and gentlemen. If you can solve someone's pain points or you can help them gain pleasure, they will pay for it. The whole thing of coming out to this conference was either to avoid being in your queue or to get to the casino. It's one of the 2. 2, uncertainty, variety, the need for the unknown, change, and new stimuli. We are human. We need to feel alive all of the time. And if we are able to always give variety in our life, we can always give ourselves stimuli. 3, significance, feeling unique, important, special, or needed. If you can go in the hallway right now and give somebody a hug and then tell somebody how to give somebody the best hug in the world, you know the line. All right. 4, connection, love, a strong feeling of closeness or union with someone or something. Everything is about connectivity. Everything is about feeling like you're a part of a community, a tribe, whatever the case may be. That's a human need. 5, growth, an expansion of capacity, capability, or understanding. Growth is kind of a funny one because basically you have an expectation that whatever you do or whatever interactions you have is going to improve your life in some way. That is a basic need, and actually it's probably one of the more important ones. And last, contribution, a sense of service and focus on helping, giving to, and supporting others. That's a part of the reason why I'm here, is because I get to actually come back and help all of you guys out the way I wasn't when I was sitting on that side. So hopefully, just in this part alone, you'll kind of analyze how things are for yourself and see where there's things where you can either help somebody else out or improve something in your life. With that being said, it is information that you can sell if you can do any of these 6 things. Now, why does information work so well? Let me just stop real quick and point out something for you guys. So, who's used YouTube? Okay. Who's used Vimeo?
Use what?
Vimeo. Okay. Check out Vimeo.
How you spell that?
Boom! V-I-M-E-O. V-I-M-E-O. Vimeo. Who's used... Actually, let's just go with those two. The whole thing about those video services is that you can go with your phone right now and you can record something, and in minutes you can have it on YouTube and everybody in the world can see it. Now, the thing about a service like YouTube is it's a cluster of information. Most of it is not organized. So you're sifting, trying to connect the dots in order to learn how to do that Excel spreadsheet, or trying to learn how to, and I hate to say this because as an IT person, this was a regular occurrence, how to turn on a computer. It's not too far-fetched, but in going into a service like YouTube, you run into the whole thing of, well, is this information actually accurate? Or what has changed? Now, as a content creator, people will pay for internet if it is for information if it is organized. That's why you're here. Whatever presenter you have, whether it's me or anyone else that you have this week, our goal is to get all this information and put it in a way where you can actually take action on it. That's why people would pay money for it. So, why information works so well? One, it's very simple to create. Like I said, you can pull out your phone right now, you can make an information product. You can pull out your tablet and make an information product. For those of you that don't like recording stuff on devices, you can use an old school tape recorder and make an info product. There's still some people in the internet marketing world that still do big packages of cassette and sell. I don't know why, but they do. But it's very simple to create. Even if you're camera shy, you can record your screen, which I'm going to actually show you how that works. 2, simple to distribute. It's never been easier to put up information because now we've all bought into the system and we've all grown into it to where we can pull out a device, very simple, and press record. Next, it is simple to manage. If you've done nothing in the world dealing with technology, chances are you probably know how to put up a video and tell your best friend on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, go take a look at it, tell me what you think. You want to see my family reunion? You want to see my new baby's birthday or their first day of school? Hey, I recorded it. Go check it out. That's how this whole thing works. Now, for the person who sees all of this and says, what if I told somebody how to do something? That's the switch. That's where it turned from being something fun that you can do to something that's actually income-producing activity, if that all makes sense. So, this is where it's time to actually do something. I like to call this action time. So, here's what to do. Step 1, I want you to go old school and start to write. This is going to be simple, so get a piece of paper. Trust me. Once we're done, you're going to be like, wow, I didn't know that this could happen. You don't need a computer for this exercise, and I encourage you moving forward to actually get a little bit more analog. Going digital is cool when you're actually doing processing, but when you're getting thoughts out of your head, the mechanics of writing works even better. 2, space. Normally, when I do this presentation online, I tell someone to get into a nice, quiet room. That's not going to happen here. So, forget about space. If you gotta do a little elbow room thing, that's cool, but no, don't worry about space. Music is great for those of you that like to do this with music, but it is an optional thing. TV is not, because TV is too many senses going at the same time. 3, lists are cool. I want you, on your piece of paper, to number from 1 to 15. I'll give you guys 30 seconds. Some of y'all are faster than others. It's all good. I'll explain why I'm having you numbered from 1 to 15 in just a moment. All right, that's 30 seconds. If you're still doing it, keep it going. Number 4, timer. Normally, I would have you go to a website called eggtimer.com and set the timer for 5 minutes. Instead, I'm going to keep time for 2 minutes. I'm going to stress you out that much more. You just lost 3 minutes. But what I'm going to do is have a timer on. And for that time, I want you to dump everything that you have in your head that is an idea. One word, one phrase, it doesn't matter what it is, something that you know or at least could get enough information to be an expert on, right? So, ready? Go. Relax your mind. Whatever comes up in your head, just throw it on the paper. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you know something about. It can be minuscule. It could be massive. Just get it out of your head. It could be technical. It could be low tech. It could be a recipe. If you could teach somebody how to drive a car properly in the District of Columbia, go for it. And not get a ticket. One minute left. Don't stop writing. If you're stuck, it's fine, but just a starting point. But try to get out what you can because you're losing time. 30 seconds. $15 seconds. And time. Pens down. Good job. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. What you did was an exercise that I learned from one of my writing mentors a couple years ago that actually got me to write Bestseller Boss. It got me started. So what I just taught you was a very expensive lesson. The whole psychology behind that is that when you have a constraint, you force your mind to think in hyperspeed. And because it's doing that, it's forcing your best possible information to come out of your head. How does this translate in the office? If you need to get some information out and get it to where you can actually start to write whatever type of document you need to do, whatever type of presentation you need to do moving forward, all you got to do is set a timer, make it a very short timer, give yourself enough room to actually list out, normally that's 15, and just let it go. You can organize the information later, but what you did was you started your brain and getting you in the motion of thinking ahead. It's very powerful. Now, number 6, I want you to strike out the losers. What that means is, if you said something in your list, you wrote something down that you did not feel confident about, strike it out. Now, I'm only going to have you to strike out 2. The rest of it, I want you to keep that list. But 2 things that you feel are weak, that you don't feel super confident about, strike them out. And as we do that, we're going to go ahead and move forward on the slide. So basically, we just did the very first part of what I call creating an internet-based information product. We just dumped a lot of information in a very short amount of time. Now imagine if you did that and you were serious. That's what this is all about. Now, moving forward, I want to show you a tool. It's called the Audience Insight Technique. For those of you that can see this, it's time for us to get a little bit social on Facebook. Now, I want to give you a fundamental truth. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. I don't know this dude, but hopefully one day I get to meet him. Jay-Z is a lyric in one of his songs. He's also said it on stage a couple times. The whole thing about that line resonating with me is that I am an internet marketer, so I always look at numbers every day. I don't have to worry about what someone says is going to happen. I'll look at the data. If the data supports it, then 9 chances out of 10, I'm going to go with the data. If you just happen to agree with the data, then it's 10 out of 10 and we're good to go. Otherwise, you're going to have to show me some type of proof. In the office, it's the same thing. Chances are you're going to have to show how many times you processed a report, how many times you actually went out into the field, whatever the case may be. The whole thing is, if you can prove it in numbers and stats, you have more of a leg to stand on, and that's the same thing for the internet. Now, stats matter. In the world of social, the person with the most likes win. The person with the most hearts, the person with the most +1s, and actually that doesn't even work anymore because Google's gone in that arena. Whatever is the qualifier in social media, those matter. If someone sees that you have 1 million likes versus the person who has 2, chances are you're gonna be like, well, I want to pay more attention to that. So that's social proof. That's what we call it. It's called social proof. The second thing is data matters. If you can have supporting information that backs up your numbers, then of course it makes it more believable. If I were to give you a stat that says I did X amount of things, but I had no type of documentation to go and support that, it doesn't make it nearly as strong or believable. That is, what helps to sell. Next is numbers matter. Numbers is a combination of stats and data. It's the thing that you can say it's this much of this versus this much of that. So if you can combine those things, then you pretty much have the proof that gets somebody converted, and it's called persuasion. So don't let numbers scare you, just learn what the numbers are telling you. So same thing when you're in that Excel spreadsheet. Whatever those numbers are telling you, that's exactly what you're looking towards, as far as being your absolute truth. Now, I'm going to do something really quickly because, actually, you know what? I think I am recording the computer audio, so we'll go forward. Either way, I do have a backup right there that's recording. I just want to make sure that I have everything for you guys moving forward. So things to consider. 1, people like stuff and are not afraid to let their connections know. If you put up a picture about a cat, they're going to let you know. Cats, for whatever reason on the internet, works. If you can make a product grooming your cat, some cat person in Iowa is going to buy it. But if you can get somebody to kind of say, hey, I like that too, then you're building community and people are all about that. 2, unlike most forms of social interaction, anonymous actions are noticed. On Facebook, if you did something, said something, your name is tethered to it. It's not like back in the days of the forum where you can be Black Hat 123. You are who you say you are unless you lie about your identity, and at that point you're just scum. I want to give you guys a quick story to emphasize this point right here. As I said earlier, my name is Timothy Craigette. I share that name with my father, Timothy Craigette. He is Timothy S., I'm Timothy D. But on Google, we are Timothy Craigette. He is retired DC PD and now retired DC Library Police. Yes, the library has a police force. I did not believe it until I saw him in a uniform. And they are armed. So, so one day, my father was doing his library duties, and there was a patron that was there who was sleeping with their head on the table, and their head was down, head covered. Now, whenever you're in a public place, it's always encouraged for your face to be seen, so on camera, We can see you if you did something wrong. So he asked the young lady, could you please, not sleep in the library? You're not allowed to do so. She refused. So he asked her again, could you please take off your hoodie and not sleep in the library? She said no. With that, he starts to go and use action to excommunicate her out of the library. And in that, she saw the action and decided, this isn't worth it, I'm getting up and I'm leaving. Now, that incident ended up being reported that she was wearing a traditional Muslim headdress, and that went like wildfire throughout DC. With that being said, activists decided to jump on this with reckless abandon. The library system disemboweled their knowledge of ever working with this guy named Timothy Curgat, and he became a social piranha online. Now, this is where it gets crazy. My world is the internet. So, putting two and two together, I do a Google alert for any time the word Curgat, Timothy S. Curgat, Timothy D. Curgat, Curgat family reunion, and probably a couple other things that have my last name as a flavor with Curgat. And I got a Google alert at 3 something in the morning. I'm up talking to a client in England at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I get a bing. I check it out. DCS.com reported that Timothy Curgat threw out a Muslim person out of a library. I was like, no, I didn't. So I checked out the story, and I was like, holy expletive word. And I was like, I need to talk to Dad first thing in the morning. So I didn't sleep that night. And first thing in the morning, hey, Dad, what's going on? Oh, so you heard about it, huh? Yes. So, with that, the high point of that story is actually the threat of the internet. I get alerts, like I said. One alert struck a chord with me, and it started to make my life a living hell. The whole thing of communities online, they get crazy, and they lash out online and they hurt people, like the comedian who just did Ghostbusters, Leslie Jones. So my Leslie Jones story is, someone went and Googled my name, and I rank for my name. I have images that rank for my name. I have products that rank for my name. So when someone said, is this the guy? It was a picture of me. Now, I wear hats, and my dad doesn't wear hats. He's a lot more great than I am. But the internet doesn't care about that. The internet is judge, jury, and executor before they even have a chance to have burden of proof. So, with that being said, luckily the whole thing has, I hope, blown over. But this was this year. This was actually a couple months ago. So, with that being said, on the internet, you are not infamous. Well, you could be infamous. You are not secretive unless you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. 3, people want to show their alliances online. They want to show that they are actually about something, that they love something, that they are a community, that they are about something. Big is a community. And for those of you that have, connections to powers that be, get big to do a bit more social stuff on the internet. You guys got to be seen. You guys do great work. It's a shame that, it's not more visible. 4, we willingly give up demographic, psychographic information about ourselves daily. We tell Facebook, we tell Twitter, we tell everything about us every day, all the time. I imagine that some of you are taking pictures at this event and put it up on your Facebook page. You shared it on Twitter. People know that you're in Vegas. They're having a good time. Not Vegas, Atlantic City. Dang, see? Same difference. You're all gambling. I know you're doing it. This is the big why for using a tool on Facebook. 1, we use what we know to be true about people. We find out this information that is volunteered on a daily basis, and we use it in order to make sales on the internet. Just to kind of throw this back into the office, this is the same information that you could use if you're trying to get information out and pull people towards you. If you don't have access to demographic information, this tool is going to help you find whoever it is that you're trying to get in front of. 2, we test what we suspect about people. We're able to actually throw out messages and see what resonates. 3, become precise in our investigation of interest and other details. We tell Facebook pretty much what we like. When you click on like, you just told Facebook something about you, and you are now profiled. 4, find out information we didn't know or even considered as we dig deep and wide. If someone in here likes a certain thing, we're going to actually discover a lot more about that person. 5, you become an expert on a person we will soon sell to. You know more about them than they know about themselves. And we give this up on Facebook daily. 6, we identify hidden ideas within our search. So if you start with one thing, you will end with something else. I can guarantee it. Now, is this something that you can do? Of course it is. It's really simple. I showed this to these kids here at this event. And the moment that I showed it to them, they got it instantly. So, without further ado, it's action time. Now, this is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you the actions, but I'm actually going to show you the tool. We're going to use some of you guys' list in doing this. So, normally I would have you take a breath because for a lot of you, this is going to be something that's totally different and new, but it's really cool. It's not scary. 2, you would open up Facebook. You would have to have an account with Facebook, so all you would do is go to Facebook or do a search for Facebook ads. Actually, write that down to get access to this tool. On Google, do a search for Facebook ads, and it would take you to signing up to become a Facebook advertiser. That would give you access to this free tool. While you're doing that, 3, Ads Manager. This is where you're actually going to find the tool. Now, I'm going to actually do this in front of you live, so you'll be able to see this. So let's just move forward in this. You don't need to worry about location. I'm going to show you. You don't need to worry about clicking on everything because I'm going to show you that. And 6, entering ideas. I'm going to show you that. These are the things that I want you to consider. Audience size. How big is the group of people that you're trying to reach? Facebook will tell you. Categories. Associated data. These are the things that your interest has discovered that are connections to your ideal person. Advanced insights. These are behaviors and qualifiers that actually make you more targeted. And when I show you how much information you give, you'll see exactly what I mean. And income levels. This is the big one. I'm not going to even talk about it. So, now it's time to actually get down with the get down. I'm going to show you how this works. So, all right, let's see. Chrome, do I have it on Chrome? Up and out, there we go. All right. There we go. All right, so this is the Audience Insights tool. Now, I'm going to have to do this over my shoulder because I'm not doing mirrored screen. So hopefully this works out well. We'll see. So, first things first, I need a couple of hands of a couple of interests so we can kind of just see where the room is. Yes, can you give me one of the interests that you have so we can kind of see where it is?
Traveling.
Traveling? What would be the problem that you would solve with traveling?
Making it more accessible.
Making it more accessible how? Think about the problem first.
Funding.
I like that. That could be something that you could solve. Give me another one.
My product.
I saw that hand first. Hold on, real quick.
Rental space.
Rental space. Interesting.
Parking, wedding.
Yes.
There are too many places to figure out are they available, is there time?
Oh, you excite me. Talk to me. That's a great idea. I like that. What's yours?
My product.
Huh?
My product.
You actually have a product?
Yes.
What is it? Jewelry. What problem would you be solving with jewelry? Trying to get it sold? That sounds like your problem. but I'm actually glad that you said that, because the whole thing about the internet is being able to sell just about anything. The whole thing of selling physical products is a little bit different than selling information, but it can be done. And actually, you could do it on Facebook as well, because I've actually sold T-shirts, I've sold belt buckles, a few other things that are physical. But I'd have to talk to you more in detail about how that. Give me one more. Oh, what? Wow. Okay. I saw yours go up first, and then I'm gonna do you, and then you, and then there was. Yeah. Okay. So let's go in that order.
It'd be a GoFundMe for student loans. Where we would.
You have a gold mine. Keep that idea. I like that one. Talk to me about it. Next. I'm sorry, you have a petite voice. I need you to come on, from what that right here, right here.
It's many areas it's hard for African American
My wife is natural, and I hate going through all that stuff, because then I have to go with her to all these natural things and find all these organic things and coconut oil and this and that. You have hair, nails. What is it? Hair, nails, and shoes. If you can solve any problems in those, it works on the internet. Yes. Hi.
Football for women.
Football for women?
Being able to understand football for women.
What? I was not aware that was a problem. I had to convert my wife. You're absolutely right. Okay. I'll end up with you so that way we can move forward.
Mine was a piggyback off the travel companion called Hitchhiker. Like, so all of these people come to the same place.
Yeah.
And everybody, like, maybe somebody could just rid with someone that they had some type of web platform where.
Okay. The concern on that is development. I want to move you towards doing something where it's low cost or no cost, but something like that, doing a SaaS, software as a service. I do have connections to actually a couple people who do SaaS business stuff. Make sure that we connect. Because that,
It's already free on Facebook, already on it.
boom, that's what I'm talking about. We'll end up with you two last ones.
retirement.
How so? What problem would you solve?
Oh, it's in 4 months.
Oh, solving your problem. Another one. Oh, looking out for self. All right, that's fine. Okay.
And then I was going to go do finances with a couple people, have map out their budget, their elimination plan, their retirement plan, more focus on the person than more you focus.
Okay. Just giving you a little food for thought so we can kind of move forward. I used to be, I'm not anymore. But I would have been who you target. You probably would be targeting me or younger than me. You would have to really work hard on your messaging.
You mean you work with the government in space?
If I was working for someone doing something or another, you would have to work really hard on your messaging, because I'm gonna tell you right now, when I grew up as an artist, I didn't think about all that stuff. Once I started getting a job, I started considering it, and once I left all that, I was like, it would have been nice if I had some of that done. But you would have to work really hard on your messaging. But keep paying attention. You're on the right track. You guys did great. You guys did really great. I like that. So we're gonna take a couple of them and actually do this thing, because I want to make sure I get through this information for you guys. So we're gonna pick one. Now, someone that did not share, give me one, real quick.
Fishing show.
Sorry?
Fishing show.
Fishing show?
Teaching kids how to fish.
Teaching kids how to fish. That's a good one. All right. So, I actually really like yours, because we'll have some fun with that. All right. So let's start with fishing. Right? So with this tool, you can type in an interest, meaning something that someone is interested in. That is a much better qualifier than what someone likes. So if we pick fishing, our number from 250,000 people has now jumped down to 25 to 30 people 30 million people on Facebook that is interested in fishing. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper than that. Yes, light bulbs are going off. Like, what do they know about me? Watch. So, check this out. According to Facebook, 69% of males are the dominant, over 32 that are female. The biggest majority of people that are interested in fishing is between the ages of 25 and 34, with 31% respectively. 18 to 24 have identified liking fishing, and then it just starts to go down from there. But we're going to go a little bit further in our analysis. So let's look at page likes. These are associated things that deal with fishing. So since you're thinking about fishing, you want to pay attention to this. Interest, sports, recreation activities, Apple Creek Whitetail Ranch. That would be an interest that you could target. Clothing, SouthernSistersDesign.com. I can't pronounce that one, I'm not going to skip it. Sports League, FLW, Bass, PBR, and UFC. Outdoor gear, Ugly Stick, which my dad loves. Berkeley Fishing, Browning, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, publishers, deer and deer hunting, and we can go all the way down and such. But that is pages that are associated to that that niche of fishing. But we can go a little bit more detailed. This right here is called affinity. This is how close it is in order to the connection of the original word, which is fishing. The top thing that comes up is Abu Garcia, Berkeley Fishing, FLW, Wired to Fish. Those are just some of the things that are associated as far as page likes go. But like I said, we're going to go a little bit deeper than that. These are the locations that are the most responsive to the term fishing. Seattle, Washington, San Fran, Portland, DC, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Denver. So if you wanted to geo-target, you could. This is where you're going to have the most success. Activity. This is how they are active on the platform. So, on average, lifetime, at every given point, there's at least 33 likes that happen in a day per person. And our number when we started was 25 to 30 million people. So you can imagine that's a lot of activity. Then we have, they normally comment about 15 times a day. They mostly do post likes about 24, post shares 5, so on and so forth. Here's a really good one right here. It's called device usage. This is where they actually are doing most of their activity, which I'm going to assume is mostly going to be mobile. Yep. 36% higher than desktop and desktop alone. They break the bank at 68%. And then it goes on to what actually devices they use, which the bulk uses Android. Followed by mobile web, which is any other version. That could be Chrome, it could be Opera, any of those flavors. Now, this is what I actually look at. Household. Google knows how much money you make. So, on average, mind blown. On average, the person that's the most responsive makes between $50,000 to $75,000 a year at 33%, followed by 30 to 40 and 40 to 50 at 17% respectively. So if I was doing targeting on this, I would target people like so. People that are between the ages of 18 and 34. Let's get this thing down. Mostly men. Nothing discriminating against the ladies. Y'all ladies love to fish. Some of y'all ladies love to fish. That financially, boom, make $30,000 to $75,000 a year. That are married, or in a relationship, or engaged, because you said you want to teach kids. And I believe I can do family on this as well. That's relationship status. And let's see, parents. There we go. All parents. So actually I would take out the relationship stuff because I really don't care. They could be parents and they could be single parents. So now across the United States. You have a targeted audience of 400 to 450,000 people that are interested in fishing between the ages of 18 and 34, that are male, that make between $30,000 and $75,000, that are also parents. If I did this for you, I can get my message in front of you. Now, how does this work in the office? If you wanted to target an agency, anybody that actually is an employee of an agency, you can use this tool and you can get your message in front of them faster than you can with an email that's an email blast. Because if someone sees there's a blast, you're going to ignore it and you're not going to read it. But if there's an ad in your face, you might just click on it. That's the tool. Any questions so far? None. Flabbergasted. I love it. I just blew your mind. I love it. All right. Let's move a little bit faster because we are at the 4 o'clock spot and I want to make sure I get all this thing out to you. This is called the Evernote Curation Hack. Any of you, have you heard of a tool called Evernote?
No.
A couple of you. Awesome. This is going to be great information. You're going to love it. Now, I will be very honest with you. I do play Pokemon Go. That's why I have this brick, because it's an extra battery for when my phone dies. I say it's exercise. I would encourage you guys to exercise and catch your Pokemon today. But seriously, Evernote. Oh, just side note, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company making a killing off of an idea of just collecting bugs. That's where it came from, collecting bugs. And then they just created bugs that happen to look like electric rats and dragons. And now it's a $20 billion business.
Funny story, I posted something on Facebook a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
The only way to get my son out of that house and walk and exercise was Pokemon Go. And we walked probably like 3 miles. He's ready to keep walking. I'm like, dude, I'm hot.
Yeah. I'll share a story with you. First day that this game released. Now, I'm a geek and a nerd. Self-proclaimed and a professional at it. I'm pretty good. I can nerd with the best of them. So I tell my wife, you got to play this Pokemon Go. You got to play Pokemon Go. She's like, I'm tired of Pokemon. I hate it. I hated collecting the cards. I hated playing the games with you. Stop it. I'm like, no. Well, we can go outside now. Let's do it. So she's like, all right, I'll do it. So we go out, we put the app on our phone, and we go for a walk. And it was the most surreal situation that first day, seeing a whole bunch of people doing this. I lied to you, not as the funniest thing. It was weird. It was so surreal. Because, like, you knew they were playing Pokemon Go, but they didn't want to say it. And I got ran over by 2 people on bikes that were playing Pokemon Go, and I almost got hit by a car. No lie.
They were ready to Starbucks and she wasn't paying attention.
It's crazy. Now there's no one walking. They realize that they started exercising and they stopped playing it. But that's a nerd life for you. Let's move forward. All right. So, speed curation creates momentum. This is the magic right here. Are we still good? Okay, thank you. So, money loves speed, but collecting information loves speed as well. The whole thing of being able to assimilate information as fast as possible and get it out as fast as possible is the difference between you being first or next. So, these are the things that using a tool like we're actually going to go through with Evernote actually makes you faster than most other people. The first thing is effortless. Once you have the app on your device, once you have it on your tablet, once you actually use it on desktop, all you have to do is just use that share button like you normally would, where you share it with your mom, your dad, your sister, brother, your cousin, your nephew, whatever, except now you have an option that says Evernote. I'm going to date myself. Have you guys ever heard of a trapper keeper? All right. Consider this your digital trapper keeper. All right. So, automation. Once you use the app on your phone, thank you for explaining it. I should have did that. It's this crazy hyper-colored note binder thing that had all these weird designs on it, and any 80s kid would know what it is, or someone that geeks out into old 80s stuff. But automation, if you do it on your device, it saves in the cloud in your profile. So you have it in multiple places. ID capturing. Huh?
Spell problem.
You know, I'm gonna tell you a little bit something about misspelling. The internet doesn't care. Like, the example I'm going to show you, I purposely did a misspelling, punctuation error, and grammar wrong, and the grammar was incorrect, and I still sold. I'm going to show you. So, but thank you for pointing it out, because I didn't mean to do that in here. So that's cool. All right, so ID capturing. Once you go and you identify something that you want to have in your digital notebook, it's just a matter of following a thread for your ideas, which you've already done. Yeah. And you can just find things that are relative to your idea. And then it's simple. I have a couple of notebooks. I can't really show right now, but I have a couple of notebooks, I think 4 or 5 of a couple products that I'm actually creating right now. That it took me less than 20 minutes to design in my head, clicking on stuff that I found on the internet to collect as far as information. This whole thing of actually being a curator has never been simpler. It is totally cool. Now, collecting is cool. Think back in the day when you were at school and you had garbage pail kids, or if you had a stamp collection, a rock collection. My dad had a rock collection. I don't know why you collect rocks, but the whole thing is you collect stuff, and it's your marker as to what makes something fun. It's like it's your archive. So you got to get back into like getting to that root of being a kid. You're collecting information now. And it's a digital age. It's never been faster to access anything you've ever wanted to know. And everything is out there. Everything is out there. The only thing is it just needs to be organized. So, a few quick notes about Evernote. 1, you can use Evernote anytime online and on a mobile device. As a matter of fact, I would encourage all of you right now, if you don't have Evernote, to install it on your devices. It is free. 2, if you can share it, you can add it to a virtual notebook. That virtual notebook that you have is your gold mine to making a quick information product, or in your job, collecting the best information to make you look like a superstar. 3, it's fun. Once you start seeing that you can actually curate really quickly, you actually start collecting a lot more information. 4, it has helped me to make a killing on the internet. Literally. So, action steps. Number 1, grab your phones. Grab your phones. Oh, that sucks. Well, if you can connect to the hotel internet, it's free. I actually just use it to show you how to use Facebook. Oh, well.
Get 2 devices. We're gonna ask you for your room number later, make it look like you can recharge it.
Oh, well, there you have it. If you're staying here, you can use your room. If not, you can connect to the free Wi-Fi. Or if you want to use your data, that's fine. 2, I want you to open whatever version of a store that you have, whether it's iOS, Android, and I feel sorry for anyone that's on Windows. It's okay. But there's nothing to purchase. It's totally free. 3, I want you to search for Evernote. EVERNOTE. If you can't do it now, just write it down and do it later. But search for Evernote. 4, install it. Yes.
Does it have access to all of your pictures and contacts and all that other kind of stuff? Some apps do, some apps don't.
It might. It might. I'm sorry, say again, please.
There's 2 options.
Yes. Okay. Well, play around with it. Okay. But it is a trusted app. It is an award-winning app, and it is not spam. So you don't have to worry about it infecting your phone.
One said that one guys, having a shortcut.
It should just be straight Evernote. But if there's any other flavor of it, just no. I think you're just in Android marketplace is probably throwing a whole bunch of random stuff at you. But yeah. But 5, obviously open the app. You're gonna go and you create like a profile. You can either sign in with Facebook or you can sign in with an email address and password. And 6, just play around with it. Create your first notebook and just start throwing some data in it. Sure. Yes. It's green and it has a little elephant cut out on it. That's Evernote, yeah.
Having no shortcut.
You say you have customers?
Yes.
I'm just curious. I'm almost 60, I have no damn idea what the hell you're talking about. If I
appreciate it.
work something out with you, I don't have a lot of money.
You will have contact information with me, but also I have something. If you wrote down that link in the beginning, we'll come back to that. But yes, it can happen. So now, with this application that you have on your phone, just start throwing whatever you can. You search for something on Google. If it's of interest that goes into your list, add it to your notebook. If there's an interesting picture that you find, add it to your notebook. If you hear music or something that you want to share, but you want to make sure you can get back to it, add it to your notebook. And just keep your notebook growing to the point where you have enough information that you can then turn it into an organized information product. Just play around with it anytime you get a chance. So, now the 10-slide presentator method. And we're actually doing pretty good on time. All right, cool. Any questions before we move forward? You guys rock. Let's keep going. So, I want to show you something. Woo! They're having more fun than I am. Jeez. All right, here we go. Hear this?
Alright, I got this email about this new idea you wanted to run by me.
Yeah, buddy.
And I understand it's both online and offline?
That's right, bestseller boss.
Oops. Sorry, I pressed the button. And we'll just start it over.
Alright, I got this email about this new idea you wanted to run by me.
Yeah, buddy.
And I understand it's both online and offline?
That's right, bestseller boss.
Alright, go ahead and run this bestseller boss thing by me.
Alright, well the first thing is killer product, bestseller boss, best content, bestseller boss, online or offline, bestseller boss, in a format, bestseller boss, like PDF, bestseller boss, and video, bestseller boss, in MP3, bestseller boss, for picky customers, what's it about, bestseller boss, well I tell you, bestseller boss, it's for offline, bestseller boss, and offline too, bestseller boss, tell your list, bestseller boss, how to use, bestseller boss, social media, bestseller boss, to grab the experts, in their niche, bestseller boss, and become badasses, boss, instantly, bestseller boss, and launch their product, got tons of clients, using leverage, boss. Oh hell yeah man, that's a freaking awesome product, shit, dude I know, bestseller boss.
All right. The video is 2 minutes, but what I just showed you was a video that actually sold my very first product. Yeah. So the whole thing about that video is this. We knew who we were trying to target. We targeted people that love The Lonely Island, that watch SNL, that wanted to make money on the internet, selling to people that were on the internet and people that were in local businesses offline, that needed a way in order to get in contact with people on LinkedIn in order to grow their business. That video helped to make over $40,000 in a weekend and make me a first-time best-selling internet product producer. Now, do you need to have video skills like that? No, you don't. I just wanted to show you the extreme. Yes? What I'm going to show you, you won't even need to worry about that. But you're on the right track.
You say how you sold to customers. Did you use that data or tag on some extras to get your clients? So how did they find you?
Very smart. We paid money for paid traffic and targeted the people that we wanted to reach and put that video in front of them. They liked it. They pushed the buy button, and then I made money. Yeah, but that's actually a very smart question. That's a little bit more advanced.
Yes.
You don't really need to. Yeah. Yeah. Anything that's dealing with anything that's metadata, you don't need to worry about it. You can, but that's like doing SEO, and you don't really need to worry about that. I saw a hand go up. No? Yes.
I was curious with that Facebook, I thought you said it was a Facebook tool, but was that how you were paying for it?
Yes, I use Facebook traffic. Yeah. Let's move forward. So, you don't need to be a videographer. Does it help? Yes, because storytelling is great. But the truth be told, all you got to do is just actually have information in front of a screen and talking over the information. It's no different than me standing here in front of this slide and have a microphone in my hand, and I'm explaining that you don't need to be a videographer. Just got to talk good. That's all you got to do. Yes.
I just want to make sure what you're referring to. So you made a video.
Yes.
You went on Facebook and did your target audience.
Yes.
And you paid me. So it's kind of like a video. It showed up in there. And they saw that video and then they contacted you.
I made an ad. Okay, we're going to deviate just a little bit because I can answer this and then make it very quick. Here's the whole process. Made a website. Website has something called a sales page, where you create what's called a sales video letter. That sales video letter describes the whole sales form, sales letter, whether it's short form or long form. If you don't understand anything I'm talking about, do not worry about it. In doing that, we had to recruit JVs, joint ventures. That video that you saw was a joint venture video in order to attract people who had a list of audiences that targeted towards the people we wanted to sell to and giving them a portion of our sales in exchange for traffic.
So you didn't put the video, you just paid for basically paid for an ad that directed people to your website.
To the sales page. Yes. And at that sales page, they read all the details about the product, and then at the end, there's a button that says click here to buy. It's $17. Boom, you click that. Oh, wait, I have something else for you. And that's called an upsell. And then $37 on top of that, and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, for those JVs, you don't type of that.
No. There's platforms, this is beyond the scope of this presentation, but there's a platform called JVZoo. There's also another platform called Warrior. I can't think of the name right now, but all it is you put your product in their marketplace and then you direct people to sign up as an affiliate, and then they're able to promote your product for you for a percentage of the sale. But that's a little bit beyond the scope. I can talk to you more about it later on. I'm here the rest of the week, so if you see me, grab me. No, that's something else. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't worry. We'll get to that. Okay, so moving on. Tools of the trade. So when it comes to making something on the internet, you're recording something, whether you're using a camera just like that one in the back or screen recording software like I'm currently using up here. So I want to show you some of the main ones, and then I'll give you a recommendation. Camtasia. Camtasia is an industry standard. It's been around forever. It is for PC and for Mac. It allows you to record your screen and also allows you to input video and use it as a source. There's a steep learning curve with using Camtasia. If you are in a profession where you need to present all the time in your office, you probably will use Camtasia. That's what we use at NIH. It's $300 for the installation. Not everybody's willing to pay $300 out the gate just to get screen recording software. ScreenFlow. This is what I'm currently using right now on my Mac itself. It is $99. It is a lot easier. The learning curve is super small, and you get really great professional results. It spits out video like nobody's business. And the only thing is, it's Mac only. So if you're on a Mac, sorry. If you're on a Mac, ScreenFlow's the way to go. $100 is a great investment. It's made me tons over time. Screen-O-Matic.
You do editing?
Screencast-O-Matic. I'm sorry, huh?
You do editing?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Screencast-O-Matic. Now. Sorry? Watch this. I love government employees. That never happened. No. No, that's cool. Thank you for catching it. Screencast-O-Matic. So now that's even perfect for the recording. And watch. The magic of editing. That scene won't happen. It's all a figment of your imaginations. So, Screencast-O-Matic. This application is completely web-based. It is $15 a year. My partner in Dallas, his name is Lem. This is what he uses. I try to convert him to a Mac. He will not move to a Mac. But he does great results still using the same application, and it's only $15 a year. It works on PC and Mac because it is a web-based application. If you guys have Windows Movie Maker, if you want to go free, you can use that. If you want to on Mac, you want to use QuickTime, you can use that. But I would highly suggest that you use something a little bit better so you can have more freedom to edit. That's going to be your stickler right there. So let me show you how it works. So let's go to ScreenFlow. Okay. So I got a client down in North Carolina. His name is Sean. And he is a professional artist who learned at the Disney Imagineers studio, something like that. Pretty much his art style is reminiscent of old style Disney.
It's a little girl. Is the kid?
No, it's a grown man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I seen a guy working with a kid on there, and I seen my place.
Okay, cool. All right, yes, then yeah, you're on the right track. So he went and wanted to start a Kickstarter on this project of actually turning his art into a children's book. And he sent me his page and was like, hey, I want you to check out my video and tell me what you think. I was like, sure. So I'm just going to show you a couple minutes of it.
Oh wait, there I am. Hi guys, my name is Melvin, and you should give me money for my really cool book and candy.
All right, let me just scroll through a little bit. All right, so that's Sean. So here's the thing. If you were to sit in front of a camera and just talk, that's all he did. Single camera, one shot. You could then turn that into information. But being who I am, I was like, dude, I can do a little bit more than that. Pay me a little money. I'll work it out for you. And he's like, sure. And I'm just going to show you a little bit about what we did.
You should give me money for my really cool book and candy. So yeah, pledge now.
We have a story that we want to share with you. It's a book called The Adventures of Melvin and Me, but we need some help getting it published. It's all about Melvin and his little boy Jacob. A story about adventure, imagination.
All right. I just want to point out a couple things you may or may have not noticed. First thing is adding sound effects.
For my really cool book and candy.
You might have heard that little pop sound, you probably didn't, but it gave emphasis to talking about the word candy. Now, these little touches are really cool, but again, even in this is more advanced than you ever need to do anything. It just shows you the power of the software. All you have to do is just record whatever you need to record, and you can add music.
So yeah, play.
That wasn't there before. You can add your screen recording.
Share with you. It's a book called The Adventure.
That wasn't there before. And you can do some cool things like transition.
Thanks for watching.
You have Melvin, who's the big blue monster, and then you have Jacob.
And of course, you can then add text.
Basically,
just examples to get your eyes kind of seeing where your ideas could go. Now, when you're recording something, let's go back to this. All right. So when you're recording something, the basic thing is you just need to be able to communicate effectively with your slides. Oh, actually, I want you to write this down. There's a book that I want you guys to get. 2 books. The first one is called Resonate. And the second one is called Slideology. Same author for both of those books. Resonate and Slideology. Slideology. These 2 books alone will improve your communication skills when it comes to presenting. Yes. Guys, Google it. We just talked about this. No. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you.
Also be YouTube videos that have the same topic.
Sorry?
Might there also be YouTube videos that have the same topic?
Yes, there is. Screencast-O-Matic. Yes. Huh. So they probably have a free version as well, but the full version is $15 a year. Maybe. All right. There we go. Yes, sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on real quick. Sorry. I'm sorry, say. Very close. Very, very close, yes. Okay. All right, so do we have it?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't, it'll be in the recording. We still good? Thank you. All right. You guys are doing exceptionally well. All right. Action time. So let me show you the abbreviated version of how to have a great presentation, whether you're doing it in the office or whether you're doing an information product. First thing, writing tool. You already know about a pen and paper. You use it today. I saw you. So it is still faster than doing a computer because it is your head. 2, review. So I had you with Evernote to make a notebook and collect information. So now you have collected many bits of information that you can now organize and then actually lead somebody from no knowledge to some knowledge. 3, slide number 1 is your title slide. This is supposed to be the big bang boom that gets the person's attention. It can either be words on screen or an image that is exciting to the senses, or a combination thereof. If you remember the beginning for this presentation, it was a picture of the upstairs entrance for NTI, so you knew we were talking about what's happening this weekend. And then the words were nice, big, bold, so you understood that this was an event that's happening at the big NTI 2016. So that's your slide 1. Slide 2 through 9 is your meat and potatoes. All that information that you collected in Evernote. This is where you're going to have your information organized. Slide 2, something, explain it. Slide 3, something, explain it. So on and so forth. Now, can you do this with less slides? Yes, you can. Your meat and potatoes doesn't have to be 8. It can be 4, but no less than 4 if you're trying to be an effective communicator. You want to be able to move somebody from being suspicious to being knowledgeable. And it's really hard to do it in less than 4 slides. You have to be really good talker, and I'm not the best. I just can talk. 5, slide 10. This is where you're going to put a bow on it. What that means is you're going to wrap it up. So either tell people what you told them, or hit them with a killer image that encapsulates the whole talk. This is the embodiment of what you are presenting. So your slide 10 needs to look and feel like you've just given them the best possible information, and they have to embody that information. That's probably the best way that I can express it. And 6, record it. So you've organized your information. You have a beginning, middle, and end. So now you just record you talking, which you can do with your computer that probably has a built-in microphone. If not, you can get a cheap one off Amazon for less than $30. That is USB, and it will work just fine. So let's see. We're doing really good. We're in the home stretch. All right. So now, the selling without selling strategy. This is what I really wanted to get to. By this time, you have created a list of ideas. So you have probably more than 5 ideas that you could possibly turn into an information product. You have collected and curated your information less than 30 minutes. And you've gotten to the point where you've created the slide that has your information organized, and you have recorded it. Now, I'm going to show you how you can sell it without having to worry about building a sales page, doing a sales letter, hiring a marketing team, having to learn how to do copywriting, any of the stuff that I had to do when I first started. So, content is king, but distribution is queen, and she wears the pants. I love that quote because it's so true. It was a fight between this quote and Bill Gates' content is king. But this one is a little bit better because it's the truth. If you have the information, that's great, but if you can't get it out, it does you no good. So that was awesome to find. So can you really sell your information? Yes, everything is possible. Does every person's information sell? There's so many different factors as to how well it sells and how well it doesn't. But there's a customer for everything. There's a customer for everything. It has never been easier to turn information into income, especially now. So, YouTube changed the game. Hands down, it did. Now, I was in Orlando with Lem. That's the guy that I was talking about. This dude is a hardcore Dallas fan. I'm a hardcore Redskins fan.
Yes.
Yes. And we still had to find common ground to try to work with each other. We're in Orlando at a conference, and he has his group of people on a Google Hangout. And he was like, Tim, come in here. And I was not prepared. I didn't know he was talking to his audience. And all of a sudden he says, I want you to teach something to these people. Instantly. Full capacity room. I don't know who they are. I don't know what his audience is. But I started teaching. And I got sales from that off of haphazard. It paid for my week and then some in Orlando. It was actually pretty cool. But with that, YouTube changed everything because it trained us to be camera ready at all the time. It made us think that at any given moment, as soon as someone pressed record, we can turn ourselves on and be ready in front of the camera. It also made us accessible. We can instantly, like I said before, pull out a device and instantly put it up on the net. And it instantly made us confident. It turned us from being shy to being internet famous. And just like with that, people just want content, and they're willing to pay for it. So, becoming a teacher on the internet has actually become simpler. It's not just put something up on YouTube and you hope that you become an internet star, getting YouTube internet dollars, whatever that is. Now there's actually business models that go for it. And these are 3 that I want to talk about that, besides using it as a platform, you guys actually should subscribe to it if you want to learn something cool. First one is lynda.com. Lynda.com started off as a portal for content creators to sell high quality versions of information. They were so good at what they did that LinkedIn bought them. They said, we have the #1 site for professionals. Our social media is for professionals only. They deserve to have this content. We're going to give it to them exclusively. So they bought the company. Then Microsoft said, we want to be the best. They couldn't buy lynda.com, so they bought LinkedIn so they can get lynda.com. That's how the game works. But the whole thing of their first business model used to be DVDs. They used to do orders for DVDs, $50 to $250, and you buy them and they mail it to you. Then distribution became available on the internet. They changed their business model to streaming, and now they are one of the top grossing learning centers in the planet for digital distribution. They've partnered with schools and nonprofits. That was where they made the switch. And from that point on, they became a killing in the learning space. Total Training. Total Training used to just be for IT professionals until they realized that they could make more money by being available to just about everybody on the planet. They changed their structure as far as their education, and now they are actually, I think, like the #2 or #3. I won't be surprised if they don't get bought sometime soon. Creative Live. This is where I spend a lot of my time. I love Creative Live because their business model is, we will teach you the skill for free as long as you attend the class. And then if you want the replay, well, here, here's a buy button, go buy it. So their whole model is indoctrination first, and then you buy. And they've been doing really, really well. The problem with all three of these is that they don't pay nearly as well and they're not so accessible to us anymore. We can't use it as simply as we could a couple years ago. With that being said, a better choice actually popped up. It's called Skillshare. Now, with Skillshare, they are a startup. They just broke 1.5 million members on their startup. And what they did was took an old model and revamped it. Community-based information, community pot, community recur, community share. So if you are a member of this, you get some of the money that's collected from everybody's membership. Think of it as Netflix for learning. That's basically what it is. So why is this important? This has now given us an opportunity to become content creators that pays better than YouTube. YouTube has videos that have been on YouTube forever. And they don't make any income because they don't break the threshold of them being able to be an advertiser. They don't become a YouTube partner. You need to have over 1,000 views just to even be noticed. And most people don't break that threshold. And then when you do, it's 0.00085, if I'm not mistaken, cents per view. If you're not getting that million views, you're not really making anything off of it. With Skillshare, once you get somebody who enrolls in your class, you're making between $1 to $2 per enrollment every month. That might not sound a lot, but if you get a lot of people that's actually enrolled in your class, that's pretty good income. With that being said, the average is about $1.80. So, I'll let you guys just do the math. You guys are fed. You're really smart. So, the whole thing is their model is community and recurring income. Because it is a shared resource for everybody that's a content creator gets a piece of the pie. I do not work for them. I just want you to know that. I do use the platform, and I'm going to show you why. So, 1.2 million, December 18, 2015. No website on your part, no traffic that you have to buy. You don't have to persuade somebody with a video sales letter or learn how to write copy or anything like that. What does that mean? That means all you have to do is create content, which I've already shown how to do it. So, one of the unique benefits of using a platform like Skillshare is 1.2 million members and climbing. I think they actually just broke 1.5 because they sent me an email a couple days ago. So they're actually growing really fast. I'll be surprised if they don't get out of startup probably within the next year. They're just doing really, really good. Now, you don't need to worry about doing too much because the class length for any of the stuff is 10 to 15 minutes. This is made to be for professionals. We are busy people. We don't want to sit through something that's an hour long, which actually my first 2 test classes that I did was 46 and 57 minutes respectively. But they encourage people to do, 10 to 15 minutes per session, which means that you can quickly create something in less than 30 minutes. I just told you you only need to do 10 slides. So you break that down a couple minutes a piece, and you're good to go. Culture. They are all about encouraging everybody to be in a community with each other, so they encourage everybody to share and enroll in each other's classes, which means if everyone in this room created something and everyone in this room enrolled in everybody's classes, you will break 25 in a matter of hours. That's your first milestone. There's a lot of people on here that are creating classes that have a hard time breaking the threshold of 25. That's where you got to start. If all of you participated together, you already will crush that. So I don't know the math in here, but I know that you're over 25 in here, so it could definitely work out. Let me show you this really, really quickly, because we're actually doing really good on time, but I want to make sure that I show you the platform. And then we'll be done. Skillshare. So, as long as the internet's working, yay! Love the internet. So, this is my Skillshare. Now, I wanted to prove this before I came out here to Atlantic City, that this could happen. And so I created a totally new account on Wednesday. I made 2 classes on Thursday, and I put them up on Thursday night. Since then, organically, let's see. I'm going to show you directly from my account. So the first class that I created was called Podcast Album Artist Aficionado, design album art for podcasts. I've been doing this for years, so I pretty much breezed through making this thing. But I broke the threshold of 25 in a couple hours and got 6 reviews. So now this one is actually starting to become an income-producing class. KS Communicator Method, design a better Kickstarter video on a budget. I just actually showed you what I did for a client, and all I did was record myself talking about what I did. That one broke 48, so it's actually about to break the 50 mark. And so at that point, it's actually going to do pretty well. Now, let me just show you a couple more things. And let's see, this is what I want to show you. Promotions. Skillshare. Now, this is where the income producing part comes in. So I talked about what you get as far as a class, but here's the guaranteed $100 that I was talking about. So because Skillshare is actually in the phase of them still building their community, they are trying to get as many teachers on their platform as possible. All of you guys know something already, and all you have to do is just figure out what you can do in order to fit into their rules, in order to guarantee your income. So this one is August, and it's about to end, but I just want to show you as an example. So every month, they do a teacher challenge. And the teacher challenge is get on our platform, learn how it works, create some content, get it out. And if you do those things and go through our material, which really you don't need to do, you just got to sign up, they will pay you a bonus for doing all of those things, including getting a referral of someone to come in and be a part of the platform. So, all first-time teachers who meet the same guidelines as will receive a $100 new teacher bonus. All first-time teachers who meet the same guidelines and publish within the categories of craft, culinary, design, and make at least one premium referral, which is $1, you make $200. So all those screenshots that I showed you were people who got paid on the 16th a couple days ago, who did exactly what I just showed you how to do. So I just simplified all of this, but you could go through this, you could do a search for promotions and Skillshare, and you could actually see how this whole thing works. But I just showed you how to actually create something to upload to there, and they do a very good job of teaching you how to promote it, which is basically sharing it with all of your friends. You don't have to bribe your family too much. That's what I was alluding to. So, We are in the home stretch. Guys, I really do appreciate that all of you have done all this. Well, I will. When you come up and you get a card and you get my signature, we'll handle all of that. So, that is the selling without selling strategy. So, what I want you to do is sign up. Now, in doing that, when you actually go to my form, I have a link for you that goes directly to my link. Full disclosure, it is an affiliate link. I will make money from it, but you are only spending $1. And if it's you spending that $1, I will make $10. And then you see how the whole racket works.
Can I contact you from that?
I'm going to give you direct information to me.
Okay.
Yes. All right, will do. 2, enroll in the class for that link. It's going to be to that podcast one, but there's tons of other information on the platform. Plus, you can actually go and see some. We still good? It ended? Okay. Well, I hope that we get all the information. I have a backup. Hopefully it has it. And you can actually see some that are not produced well and are still ranking and doing extremely well. 3, plan your course. You already have all the material. By this time, you would have already recorded it. 4, upload it, just like you do on YouTube. 5, share it. Get people to see it. You give out a free link. They don't have to pay to be enrolled in your class. All they care is that you break 25. So if you give out 1,000 free links and just throw it out on Facebook or something, let them see your class for free. All they care is that you break 25 people. And 6, share some more. Right? So, growing and scaling this is just a matter of repeating the process. Right? So what did we cover? Wow, we did this right on time. How to discover your thought leader superpower, how to find the perfect audience, how to become an information juggernaut, how to produce your product once, and how to grow and scale it. With that, I want to thank you guys for being a part of this workshop. I really do appreciate you, and hopefully you got some very valuable and interesting information. Again, www.startgrowscale.com/big. Thank you very much.
A lot of material to take in. I'm going to have to get my kids to kind of.
It's all good. All right. All right.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for
Please.
the info.
Absolutely. Yeah, hopefully you can at least get one thing out of it, but hopefully you can get a lot more too. Yeah. So, do you have a card? Okay, you got one. All right, cool. That's for you, and this is for me. Absolutely. Hopefully that helps you out. All right. How you doing? How are you? Not too bad.
Thank you for your information.
Sure. Glad I could do it. There you go. You got my card?
Yes, I did.
Good to go. All righty.
Thank you.
Got everything you need right here. This is me right here. Yeah. All right. There you go. All right. Cool. Okay. There you go. You got a card? Yes, you did. All right, cool. Oh, that would have been so good.
See, next time. That's right.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Have a good one. All right. There you go. Thank you. All right. Make sure you grab me some time during the week, all right? I'll be around. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hopefully you got something out of it. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Make sure you put a bottle on my head, however, I was wanting to see some.
Sure. I would. Oh, nice. Cool. Let's do that. Thank you. All right. All right. Cool. Not a problem. All right. Let's do it this way. And need a pen. Thank you. Yeah, mine is in my bag. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And thank you. Good luck on everything, and I enjoy it.
Absolutely. Thank you. I was glad to help out.